Hello students, welcome to Karnataka Common Entrance Test related video lessons. I have already uploaded about 12 lessons starting from sets, and I made it clear in the beginning. In each chapter I will be taking some concept based questions just to revise the concepts which we studied and which is required for solving the problems of CET. Then I have taken the questions from previous Karnataka CET papers. Of course, based on the availability of time, I'm selecting only a few questions because it is not possible for me now to give the complete picture of the Karnataka CET by taking all the questions. But this is the first step, that is one level of revision by taking concept based questions. Then we are going to some old questions, so that you will get an idea how to tackle the questions of Karnataka CET when you prepare for this type of competitive examination. Let me share one very important information with you. I am also conducting regular online classes, and the next batch starts in the month. These are the following informations. Commencement of the course. So January 2021, I am starting a new batch. There is the evening batch. One is Monday to Wednesday, and another one is Thursday to Saturday. And this is a regular program till you get your Karnataka CET examination. In the beginning, I will be taking the synopsis, that is theory part of each chapter. Then we will be discussing the questions or MCQ in the form of MCQ. Then I will be discussing the shortcuts and the techniques of solving problems, etc., related to any type of competitive examination. This I have been doing for the last 25-30 years. So, but this year, because of this COVID pandemic, I am starting online classes. I have already started the theory related courses, and already the course is completed. Therefore, now I am starting Karnataka CET. So if you are interested, this is my phone number, and two phone numbers, and one more email address also is there. So you can contact over this. Classes will start from January 2021, and I'm not taking a lot of students in one batch. Maximum it is 100 per batch, not even 100 also, but there will be two batches, Monday to Wednesday, that is 3 days. It is evening, that is after 6 o'clock, so that even if your college starts, it will be convenient for you. Only 3 days, but it will be throughout the year, that is January onwards till your Karnataka CET starts. In the beginning, I will be taking the theory as well as MCQ. Then later, once we complete the syllabus, there will be practice tests, and in between also, at the end of each chapter, there will be practice test. So this is a very intensive program. If you are very seriously preparing for the Karnataka CET, you can join. So this is one information. Next, let us take unit application of derivatives, and this is lesson 1. I made it already clear my approach of uploading the video lessons for this type of preparation. First, I will be taking concept based questions, then I will be taking previous year's question paper. First one is increasing and decreasing function. I have taken one question only. There I have discussed both increasing and decreasing. I think that is sufficient. This is the first question. The function f defined by f of x equal to x plus 2 into e power minus x is, there are four options: decreasing for all x, and then increasing for all x, then decreasing in minus infinity to minus 1, and increasing in minus 1 to infinity, and the last option decreasing in minus 1 to infinity and increasing in minus 1 to minus 1. See, in any such question, one thing is there cannot be shortcut, please note. Second one is there is no provision for no guessing also. All the four are possible. Therefore, unless we tackle this question, we cannot decide. So f of x is x plus 2 e power minus x. We know the condition. First we have to find f dash x. Therefore, let us differentiate it. So on differentiation, you get 1 into e power minus x, product rule, plus x plus 2 into minus 1 into e power minus x. Then you simplify, you get minus 1 into x plus 1 into e power minus x. So this is the simplification. Now, what is the condition? So for increasing function, condition is f dash x should be positive. So this implies minus 1 into x plus 1 and e power minus x should be positive. So this implies x plus 1 and e power minus x should be negative because multiplying by minus 1. So therefore now you should know this. X plus 1 should be negative. Why? Because e power minus x is always positive. Therefore x plus 1 is negative means x should be less than minus 1. When you write it in the interval, how do you get? So minus infinity to minus 1. Therefore definitely we can say the function is increasing in minus infinity to minus 1. Increasing in minus 1 infinity to minus 1. Now we have to see the other one also. For decreasing, f dash x condition is it should be negative. So as before, this implies minus 1 into x plus 1 e power minus x is negative. This implies x plus 1 and e power minus x should be positive. This implies x plus 1 should be positive because e power minus x is positive. Same reason. So this implies x should be more than minus 1. This is for decreasing. Therefore, when you write it in interval, it is minus 1 to infinity. So decreasing in the interval minus 1 to infinity. So I have selected only one question because this question clearly gives us an idea how to decide the interval for increasing and decreasing function. So this is the first question. Of course, option is D. Next, second one. The function f of x equal to sine power 4x plus cos power 4x increases if. So first is 0 less than x less than pi by 8. Second one, pi by 4 less than x less than 3 pi by 8. Third one, 3 pi by 8 less than x less than 5 pi by 8. And 5 pi by 8 less than x less than 3 pi by 4. This is also based on derivative only, increasing and decreasing function. F of x is given, though let us first find f dash x. This is 4 into sine cube x into cos x, differentiation of sine 4x. Similarly, second one will be 4 into cos cube x into differentiation of cos x is minus sine x. Now simplify like this, take minus 4 outside, sine x cos x outside. So what remains inside is cos square x minus sine square x. I have taken minus outside. So that now it is minus 2 sine 2x cos 2x because minus 4 you can write minus 2 into 2 sine x cos x is sine 2x and cos square x minus sine square x is cos 2x. So once again this you can write minus sine 4x because 2 sine 2x cos 2x is sine 4x. So this is the first thing which you have to understand. Now what is the condition? Question is f of x increases means f dash x must be positive. So this is the condition. This implies minus sine 4x must be positive. This implies sine 4x must be negative. So now you have to decide the interval. Now there are two options for you. You can check like this. See, after this one there are two possibilities. Check with the given option and decide which is the correct option. That is also possible. Or you can also solve it like this. This implies pi plus 4x less than 2 pi. See, this is the theoretical aspect I am discussing. See, whenever sine is negative, possibilities it should be either in the third quadrant or in the fourth quadrant. That means it should be between pi less than 4x less than 2 pi. So this is theoretical. Now this implies pi by 4 less than x less than pi by 2. Now you can check with the option. So this implies pi by 4 less than x less than 3 pi by 8. So because that is the given option. So B is the correct option. So these are the two questions on increasing and decreasing function. Next I have taken rate measurer. This also you have studied in application of derivatives. The first question is this. The radius of a circle is increasing uniformly at the rate of 3 cm per second. The rate of increasing of area when radius is 10 cm will be very simple question I have selected. A equal to pi centimeter square per second, 2 pi, then 10 pi, then none of this. So these are the options. Whenever none of this is given, you should be careful because sometimes because of a wrong calculation, we get an answer which is not the first three options. Then we may think that it is none of this. Therefore, normally in all the training of this type, I usually tell the students, be careful with none of this. So now dr by dt is given. A equal to pi r square, you know. Therefore, dA by dt will be equal to 2 pi r into dr by dt. So now substitute 2 pi r into dr by dt is 3. Therefore, you can substitute 3. Therefore, it becomes 6 pi r. Now dA by dt, rate of change of area is 6 pi r. But what is the value of r now? 10. Therefore, dA by dt at r equal to 10. Substitute. So this will be equal to 60 pi. That is 6 into pi into 10. 60 pi. Therefore, none of this here, none of this is the correct option. So this is the answer. So this is the first question on rate measurer. Next, second question. An edge of a variable cube is increasing at the rate of 10 centimeter per second. How fast the volume of the cube will be increasing when the edge is 5 centimeter long? So first option is 750 centimeter cube per second, 775, then 300 and 150. Of course, here none of this is not given. So we are safe because at least one of them must be our answer. One more is there, E option. Normally in Karnataka CET, 4 options are given. dx by dt is 10, that is given. And we know volume of a cube is x cube. So dv by dt will be equal to 3x square into dx by dt. Therefore, this will be equal to 3x square into 10. So it is 30x square. So rate of change of volume. Now when it is 5. So very simple. So dv by dt when x equal to 5 will be equal to 30 into x square. So this will be 750. Definitely option is given A. So this is the second question. Third one, if the volume of the spherical balloon is increasing at the rate of 900 centimeter cube per second, then the rate of change of radius of balloon at instant when the radius is 15 centimeter in centimeter per second. Sometimes it's in option, they don't give unit. Instead of that, they give in the main question only. So 22 by 7, 22 and 7 by 22, none of this. So dv by dt 900, that is given. This implies d by dt of 4 by 3 pi r cube, because volume of a spherical balloon is 4 by 3 pi r cube. So this, when you simplify, you get this is equal to 900, that is given. So this you have to simplify. So 4 pi r square, because when you differentiate, 4 by 3 is constant, pi is constant, r cube differentiation is 3 r square. So 3 cancels. So into dr by dt, this equal to 900. Therefore, dr by dt will be equal to 900 divided by 4 pi r square. Now what you have to do is substitute r square. So this will be equal to 1 by pi. Now strictly speaking, because this is a question exactly I have taken, pi is 22 by 7 if it is given, that means hint is given. So therefore the question paper setter has not given the hint, but you know that approximate value of pi is 22 by 7. So 7 by 22 can be taken. Therefore this question is, none of this is also in a way correct if you strictly argue, because pi is not exactly 22 by 7. But the given option 7 by 22, this is the expected answer. So you can say. Otherwise, the best option would have been, instead of none of this, the examiner should have given some other answer, so that at least 7 by 22 is the most appropriate answer we should have selected. Anyway, this is one problem with most of the examination. Sometimes there will be ambiguity. You see, it happens even in public examination also. But here it is a training setting. Therefore, let us not worry about such intricacies. We are more interested in tackling the problem. So the option is 7 by 22. Next, let me take tangent and normal. So a few questions. If a tangent to the curve y equal to 2 plus square root of 4x plus 1 has a slope 2 by 5, then the point is. So 5 options given here, 0 to 3 by 4 etc. Here there is one more possibility. See, sometimes when you are not able to do, even you can check with the given option, but the problem is, see, what is the thing? If the tangent to the curve has a slope, then the point is, see, that point should be on the line, therefore you can check with the given option also, that is also possible, but this will take lot of time. Therefore always, when especially during the training setting, that is when you are learning, preparing for the examination, you should worry more about the problem solving, without worrying much about the shortcut, and in the beginning I am telling, and the time, because you see, once you develop the concept, it is very simple. So let us try to solve it. Y equal to 2 plus square root of 4x plus 1. So differentiate. So y dash will be equal to this one. Differentiation of 2 is 0. Differentiation of square root of 4x plus 1 is 4 by 2 square root of 4x plus 1. Simplify. So this implies this equal to 4 by this one, because slope is given. So now when you simplify, you get this equal to 2 by square root of 4x plus 1. Definitely this implies 5 must be, because numerator 2, denominator 5 must be equal to 4x plus 1. Squaring, you get 25 equal to 4x plus 1. So simplify, you get x equal to 6. Now you can check. So there is only one option has 6. So E. Therefore E is the correct option. So you can check y will be equal to, therefore 7. So E is the correct option. And sometimes now you can think of substituting the value, but it will take a lot of time. And there is another thing, for example, you take B. I think B option will satisfy the given equation, so there will be mistake. The equation of the tangent at minus 4, 4 on the curve x square equal to minus 4y is, so 4 options are given. Of course, there is a shortcut for this, but time is too short for me to explain those shortcuts here. Let me give you the direct method. This is one thing, students, please note. There are many shortcuts for many exam questions, but as I told you, shortcut you can practice only when you are thorough with the theory. Don't directly jump into the shortcut. That is always dangerous. Now x square equal to minus 4y. So differentiate, 2x will be equal to minus 4y dash. So y dash will be equal to minus x by 2. Therefore m equal to now minus 4 by 2 because the given point is minus 4 minus 4. Substituting, you get 2. Therefore now equation of the tangent at this one. So use the formula y minus y1 equal to m into x minus x1. Then simplify. So y plus 4 equal to 2x plus 8. Simplify. You get 2x plus minus y plus 4 equal to 0. But in such simplification, very important thing is, even if you make a small mistake in simplification, sometimes even I also commit, we will go to the wrong option. So therefore, in such question, you should be very, very careful with the simplification. I think the option is D, 2x minus y plus 4 equal to 0. Because you see, small difference, plus minus 4, plus 4, minus 4, like that. So you should be careful. This is second question. Then the next one, the angle between the curve y equal to sin x and y equal to cos x is, this is a very good question. Tan inverse 2 root 2, tan inverse 3 root 2, tan inverse 3 root 3 and tan inverse 5 root 2. So the curve cuts at 45 degree. So this you should have the understanding. See, sin x curve and cos x curve cut at different points. There are many points where they cut. But let me show you the diagram. This is one position where they cut, and it is same all throughout because same curve is repeating. So now at 45 degree, sine curve and cos curve cut. That is number one. Second, angle between them is same as angle between the tangents at that point. Therefore, what we have to do is, y is sin x, y is cos x. First find y dash for both. For the first one it is cos x, for the second it is minus sin x. Therefore now m1 is cos 45 degree 1 by root 2 and m2 is minus sin 45 degree minus 1 by root 2. So now we have to use the formula tan theta equal to, you know this formula, mod of m1 minus m2 divided by 1 plus m1 m2 because acute angle. So now this will give you, after simplification, you can see 2 by root 2, 1 by root 2. Simplification will give you 2 root 2. So this is the simplification. So tan theta equal to 2 root 2. Now definitely you can say A is the option. So see, for such questions, one thing is shortcut will not help. Second one is you should have thorough understanding of all the concepts. So graphical method you should know, where exactly they intersect and how to take the question. All these things are very important for such question. This is the third question. Next, let us take a few questions on maxima, minima. And you can expect lot of questions from maxima, minima, increasing, decreasing, and these two area actually in Karnataka CET. The maximum value of sin x into 1 plus cos x will be, first one be at the point x equal to pi by 2, x equal to pi by 6, x equal to pi by 3, x equal to pi, the maximum value. So y equal to, let us take the function. What is the condition for maximum and minimum? First we have to find y dash x. Second derivative test is always useful. If it doesn't work, then we have to go for first derivative test. Therefore y dash x we have to find. So this will be equal to cos x into 1 plus cos x plus sin x into minus sin x. That is using product rule. Simplify, you get cos x plus cos square x minus sin square x. So this you can write cos x plus cos 2x. And then y dash x will equal to 0 gives you cos x plus cos 2x equal to 0. This gives cos x will be equal to minus cos 2x. So see how many different concepts which are required here. Therefore this is general solution actually. Cos of pi minus 2x we can write. This implies x equal to pi minus 2x. Look here, cos x equal to cos of pi minus 2x, because minus cos 2x we can write as cos of pi minus 2x. So what happens? X equal to pi minus 2x. Therefore 3x equal to pi, x equal to pi by 3. So the option is A, B, C, D. There is a typing error. A, then B, C, D. So it is C. Why? Now we have to check here. There is one more thing. What is y double dash x? It is minus sin, y double dash is minus sin x, then minus 2 sin 2x. Therefore this will be, you have to check now. Put pi by 3. Definitely it is negative. Therefore definitely the answer is that is C, x equal to pi by 3. So this is the answer. Next, question number 3. What are the maximum and minimum values of x power 5 minus 5x power 4 plus 5x cube minus 10? Of course options are given. It has minus 37, minus 9, 10, 0. Then it has 2 minimum and 1 maximum value. Then it has 2 maximum and 1 minimum value, etc. Let us. So y equal to, let us find like this. X power 5 minus, take the function x power 5 minus 5x4 plus 5x cube minus 10. So condition, first we have to find y dash x. So this will be 5x power 4 minus 20x power cube plus 15x power square. So here you can take 5x square outside, then it will be x square minus 4x plus 3. And this also can be further simplified, factorized, 5x square x minus 1 into x minus 3, because we want to find the point. Then second one, we should also find y double dash x, because we should know where it is maximum, where it is minimum. So let us differentiate the y dash so that we get 20x cube minus 60x square plus 30x. This is required for testing maximum and minimum value. So now y dash x equal to 0 gives you 5x square minus x minus 1 and x minus 3 is 0. Definitely points will be x equal to 0, 1 point, x equal to 1, another point, x equal to 3, another point. So 3 points. Now we have to check. You see, all the options are possible now. It has 2 minimum, 1 maximum, 2 maximum, 1 minimum, anything possible. So we have to check now. So y 0, this is minus 10. Second, y 1, this is minus 9. Then y 3, this is minus 37. So what is the maximum value and what is the minimum value? Of course here I think A is the correct option, minus 9 and minus 37. But what about minus 10? That also you have to check. Though you have to check like this. Y dash double dash 0, this is 0. Remember, whenever y double dash 0 is 0, that point is neither maximum nor minimum. It is point of inflection. So this point we have to exclude. And y double dash 1, you have to check, this is negative, and y double dash 3, this is positive. Therefore definitely minimum is minus 37 and maximum is minus 9. So this you have to, therefore definitely so the what are the maximum is at 1 and minimum is at 3. So these are the things. Of course there the question should have been a minimum and maximum. Next one, the maximum and minimum value of the function sine 4x plus 3, but it is under mod. So what are the values? So of course this is a very simple thing, but concept you should understand. Maximum value of sine 4x is 1. Therefore maximum value of this one will be equal to 1 plus 3, that is 4. What is the minimum value of sine 4x? That is minus 1. Therefore minimum value of this one will be minus 1 plus 3, that is 2. Therefore first one is 4, second one is 2, 4 and 2. So definitely option is B. So this is the fourth question under maxima minimum. Then next one, the minimum value of 2x plus 3y when xy equal to 6, that's the condition is xy is 6. So 12, then 9, then 8, then 6. So here of course we are safe, there is no none of this. Now P let us take as 2x plus 3y, condition is xy equal to 6, and this implies y equal to 6 by x. Therefore what we do is we substitute y equal to 6 by x and simplify. So you get 2x plus 18 by x. Now the maximum value of this one, that means P maximum we have to find. So what is the procedure? Find P dash. P dash will be equal to 2x becomes 2 minus 18 by x square, and P double dash x also we need because you have to check. So it is 13 6 by x cube. Now what I do is P dash equal to 0 gives you 2 minus 18 x square equal to 0. Therefore definitely you can find the value of x square, which is 9. So x has two values, plus or minus 3. Both are possible. We have to be careful now. Now y equal to 6 by 3, that is 3. Now why we should take 3 only? Because see P equal to 2 into 3, 3 into 2, 12. And one more thing is, what is the condition? P double dash x must be positive for minimum. Therefore if you take minus 3, what happens is it becomes minus. Therefore question asked is minimum, therefore it is 12. And among all of them, see this is the confusing question sometimes. 12 is minimum. Normally what we think, okay, 12, 9. I have seen some students make this mistake. They take like this, okay, 12, 9, 8, 6. Minimum is 6, therefore minimum 6 they write. This is not the way. You have to check with this type of finding P dash x and P double dash x and suitably selecting the value for x. So this is the question, I think last question on maximum minimum. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you will appreciate this type of MCQ in the beginning so that it will clarify your concept. Then tackling the questions of CET will be definitely very simple because you are preparing at the second level. As I told you, first level is preparation, revise the chapter of NCERT textbook along with the exemplar, so that this will definitely help you to speed up your process. And next, when you take the question papers and solve them, definitely you will be in a better position. Let us meet in the next session with the old that is Karnataka CET previous papers questions and let us practice those things. Till then, bye, take care.